welcome back to the Phantoms Fanatic YouTube channel. I am back with another review, and this week I am reviewing The Menu, released this year in 2022, starring Anya Taylor-Joy, Ralph Fiennes, Nicholas Hoult, Hong Chau, Janet McTeer, and John Leguizamo, and it was directed by Mark Mylod. The film follows a young couple set off to a remote island where there is a well-known restaurant and high-tier class restaurant owned by Julian Slowik, played by Ralph Fiennes, who's known as one of the most world-renowned chefs. But it turns out that as the night goes on, the menu seems to be more dark and mysterious as more fucked up shit keeps happening at the island, and these people are just experiencing it, and you get one of the most darkly funny fucking movies I've seen. This movie is put off as a horror comedy, but it focuses mostly on the comedy. Not saying that the horror aspects are not good. There is good scenes of suspense and good scenes of off-putting and disturbing actions, especially by the crew of the restaurant and by Julian Slowik, aka Ralph Fiennes himself, on how they seem normal at first, but then everything just seems a bit off, on how they almost feel like a cult, on how they all live on this island, and how they almost see the chef as this, like, godly figure who knows no wrong and stuff like that. And all that seems off, but then you have it intercutted with some of the most fucking funny dialogue I've seen in a movie this year. This movie is goddamn hilarious, and I fucking love it. Obviously, and so it's a bottle movie of all these restaurant patrons getting trapped in the restaurant, and how it starts normal, but then it slowly diverges into a more fucked up version of things, and where people are killing themselves, on how this chef just hates these people because they ruined his art form for him because of, you know, you just got the billionaire there eating their food, never reminding anything, never feeling any experience there. You have an actor played by John Leguizamo who the chef just hates because he went to go see a bad movie of his once, and he's like, yeah, it showed that it was like an artist's talent falling down a ways. And then you have Nicholas Hoult playing Tyler, who is Anya Taylor-Joy's love interest, quote unquote, and his reactions to things are so funny because he'll just continue on eating like it's a normal restaurant experience, and how he just is like a foodie, but he's kind of a fake and all that type of shit. Well, there's like people shooting themselves and an intense situation of like, you will all die tonight and stuff like that. I fucking love that aspect of it. It is so funny. And then on each course of the menu, you get little title cards that are introduced ever so often, and that also plays into the comedy because instead of serving bread, he just serves the dip as almost like a fuck you to his patrons, because he hates these people for ruining his art form as he sees it, because he just feeds them the food and then they shit it out their bodies. Or a food critic there where one of them just says something and then the other one just repeats it, and then he gets pissed at them for making it seem like they were just going to fucking shit on his restaurant when he invited them here. All of this really is hilarious, and there are so many good scenes of reaction and stuff like that. Anya Taylor-Joy is almost playing the straight man here, where her reactions of taking things seriously and her, like, wide-eye, like, what the fuck reactions can also get a fucking laugh out of you. This movie is very funny, but it does have good scenes of suspense and disturbing build-up to the things from these restaurant workers and Ralph Fiennes' performance, which is also fucking phenomenal. He can go from like a cult leader to almost tearing up in some scenes. He commands the scene any scene that he's in the movie, especially when him and Anya Taylor-Joy are working together, working off of each other, just the two of them in the scene. It is just fucking phenomenal, and I love his performance of him just like looking so tired and pissed off at these people for ruining the thing he loves, which is his food and cooking. And the cinematography is also pretty good. You get some nice stale shots of oceans and scenes on this island when you get out of the area. You still get some good shots of the island and stuff like that. But for being mainly a bottle movie, it does bring up the suspense in some scenes to where it works very good. And it has a good commentary on art and how people can ruin art by seeing it from a different perspective, obviously using it from food as the example, but you still get a very good message with that, even though if it's obvious, but it's done well to where I like it. And the comedy is top notch here. It's darkly funny and dry at the same time, as I say, because there's just a lot of stale reactions to things where it doesn't seem like they're trying to be outwardly funny for the most part, and that's where I think the comedy works out in the most part. It's also just funny. But yeah, you also get some things that you may think are bothering you at first, like what is the situation with Nicholas Hoult and Anya Taylor-Joy's relationship, because he's kind of a dick to her, but there's reveals on that then plays into the story, which I do like. That's so interesting to me, especially the connection that Anya Taylor-Joy's character kind of gets with the chef's character, which is very good also. The movie is just relatively entertaining for being... It's only an hour and 50 minutes, and it flies by, mainly because of the comedy. You have vignettes of them trying the different meals, and their reactions to the different things really do play up the comedic aspect to it. As more fucked up shit happens, you still get very funny, comedic, dark stuff, which makes you really enjoy this film. I definitely recommend The Menu. It is very entertaining. It has such a good compositional score, decent direction for being a bottle movie, because obviously the set design really has to carry it, and I think it does. And the direction with the actors, all of them are putting in top-notch performances. Ralph Fiennes is definitely the standout one here, but he did play fucking Voldemort, so I don't know what you expect there. But obviously, as I said, I definitely recommend this one. It is very entertaining and very funny, but still has a good commentary on art, on how it can be affected by other people's opinions and stuff like that. And it definitely mocks some of the foodie culture this year, which that shows up recently, and I really do like that kind of aspect. And the movie's just fucking funny. You get so many funny scenes of vignettes of just dark shit happening, but due to the reactions in the scenes, obviously you have that one from the trailer where he's like, you may start running now in 45 seconds, and you just have one guy bolt off, and that's funny. You have John Leguizamo like giving his coat around, but then swinging his little scarf because he's like, I'm out of here, and then he runs. And I just love all that interesting stuff. It can be so funny, but yet still fucked up at the end. And then you have one of the best looking cheeseburgers I've ever seen in a film. I had to get food after seeing this, because I saw that cheeseburger and I was like, fuck, I want one now. But yeah, as I said, I definitely recommend The Menu. I loved this film. The only problem that I would kind of have with it is just one little thing at the end where the characters who don't escape this fucked up scenario really don't try that much and kind of seem to accept it. I feel like if you would have just gotten rid of one line of dialogue with those problems in that scene, I feel like the problems would become more null and void later. But for the most part, this movie is just a fun ride of some good fucking comedy, some great acting moments by all of them in it. So yeah, I definitely recommend this. But what did you guys think? I always like to see other people's thoughts on the movie or my review. Everybody has different opinions, so I'd like to see your opinions in the comment section down below. Make sure to like, subscribe. If you have any other movie requests, leave those in the comments as well. Make sure to share the channel. I always like to see the growth of it, and I will see you all next time with another review.